Hi, everybody. My name is Joseph Stark, and I have been creating engaging and unbelievable PBL units for the past 15 years. And as an educator and somebody who's been designing these things, spending between 15 and 25 hours developing the best PBL units you can think of, I've always felt like there was a way that we could remove some of the redundant work with these things. And so I wanted to welcome all of you to something I've been working really hard on over the past year, but it's the PBL Designer, the tool that will transform hours of planning and stress into minutes of guided creation. And so I want to show you how easy it is to build a complete engaging project-based learning unit, starting with engaging standards all the way to completion here in just a few minutes. And so I'm logged in here on my Learner Mindset account. And so I'll just get started. I'm going to pick a grade level. I'll do fifth grade for this one. We'll select a subject area. We'll do English language arts. We'll pick standards. I'm always into stories and books, especially, the book Wonder. Let's do a writing component as well, because our students were just reading that book. And I absolutely love the themes in it. And so we're going to click generate a driving question. And if you've created as many PBLs as I have, you know that an excellent driving question has no one right answer. And even just developing a great driving question sometimes takes hours. So having a tool like this that's tying together your standards, knows your focus, and is tying in a theme and idea together is unbelievable. I use this for everything now. So right now you have 5 unique, driving questions. Say these don't work really well for you, you can regenerate a fresh 5, but if one of these really resonates well with you, you can pick this one. And so we'll just go with number 3 here. How might comparing the experiences of characters of wonder help us communicate important lessons about kindness and acceptance through clear and thoughtful writing? Oh, I love that. It's something all of our students can do. And then we just click generate. And it is doing all of the magic in the background. It is creating a full-fledged object-based learning unit. It's creating a title, it's tying in your standards, creating a unit overview, your real-world connections, your learning targets. It's going to be generating a lesson flow for 4 weeks, and creating about 16 specific lessons and how you can guide students. It'll include the tips and tricks. And then one of my favorite things at the end, it's even creating worksheets and graphic organizers, KWL charts, and assessments and rubrics, everything that you would need to engage your students. And my favorite part about this is, say it designs this unit for you and you're not really enjoying it, you can just come back up here and click start over and regenerate a brand new one, either with the same idea or something completely different, maybe in a different subject area. It doesn't even matter. But what you can see up here is, with our driving question, you can see the title to this PBL: Kindness and Acceptance Through Character Comparisons and Wonder. I already love it. At the top here, there's another start over button. So you can start over from the beginning and generate a whole new unit. There's an export as PDF and an export to Google Drive. It exports right now as PDF, but I'm working for Google Docs, so we can edit these as well. It will give you a full project overview from beginning to end, what students will be creating and how they're going to be creating it. It'll give the real world context. You can see the 3 standards that we selected, as well as other standards that are reached by completing this project by the students. It'll develop your learning targets, which are spot on for what we want to see from our kids, as well as cross curricular connections. Everybody knows a great PBL unit isn't just in your single subject area, it ties in everything. And so this is a way that we can reach out to other subject content teachers and pull them into this project as well. It also has community connections, or who you can invite as, either a mentor for the project to give feedback to the students, or maybe just judges at the end or people to review their final presentation. Right here, you'll see entry events. These entry events are so important to a great project-based learning unit. I'm going to generate one right now. So an entry event is how you get kids hooked into the topic, right? You've shown them the driving question, and now you're trying to get them engaged with the topic, right? And so it might not just be In this case, the book Wonder, but it could be, a video that you found online about empathy that shows why it's important, or compassion. And, the one that comes to my mind off the top of my head is, the Brene Brown automated or animated video, where it's like the bear and they're talking about empathy and what it is and what it looks like. I think it's such a beautiful, unique way to show that. So in here, you can actually see our fully generated lesson plan. And so in here, you will see the overview of what the lesson plan is, the learning objectives, the materials that are needed, preparation steps for the teacher before the unit, the lesson procedure, which you're going to go through with times, discussion questions to ask your students, specific teacher notes, right? Encourage students to actively take notes and jot down questions during the video to build focus. Then assessment strategies. And then it recommends additional ways you can find resources online, video search strategies. And the best part with all of this stuff is if you're like, hey, this missed the target a little bit, and maybe it's not quite right, you can regenerate it. But if you love it, you can export as PDF and it will add it directly to your computer, or it'll add it to a folder on your Google Drive. Down here, it will create the project milestone lessons. So you can click generate all 4 lessons, which I love to do because I like to batch generate them. Do know that it takes a little bit longer to generate all 4. And as it's cooking in the background, we just have to wait a little bit. But it's a great time to look through the weekly sequence, right? So you can see the introduction to the novel Wonder and the driving question using the selected entry event. Week 2, we're ending week 2 is student drafts explore explanatory paragraphs using their organizers and receive peer feedback using structured sentence starters. By week 4, we are presenting their project to classmates and individual authentic audiences. And the last lesson of that week, lesson 17, celebrate learning with class gallery walk or digital sharing platform. And each one of these is a full lesson plan for what you need, the items, how to prepare, how to talk to students, guiding questions, and the whole deal. And then this worksheets and resources section down here is kind of special. So as you're generating these lessons, if it's talking about any worksheets or specific items like a KWL chart, an observation checklist, or a graphic organizer, it's going to auto populate those into the worksheets and resources section automatically, which is a really amazing feature because those specifically you can print out and hand directly to your class. It takes out all of that work that you need to design those as well. Oh, here's one. Right, using a graphic organizer, it looks like this is from lesson 3, and we'll go up and look at that in a second. But you can view it right here. This is the graphic organizer for the different characters, the comparing and contrasting, lesson about kindness, optional drawing, reflections, and next steps. If you love it, export it as PDF. Now you've got it and ready to print. Then down here is the piece I was talking about earlier. I love it, right? It's going to give you teacher feedback, what you should look for on your KWL charts, observation checklists for when you're walking around the classroom. And I think a little bit more importantly, that you can generate the rubrics specifically, which you're going to be assessing students on in the project. And here's a little tip for this. These are a little bit verbose right now. I'm working on tying down the language to making it a little bit more specific. But the way that it's generated in the window right here is you can actually highlight everything. And if you're using something like Google Docs, you can copy and paste it right into Google Docs and then edit the language to adjust it however you want. It's really easy. It'll keep the same table formatting and it works. If you're just like, hey, this is amazing, I want to use it as is, you can export it as a PDF. And what's great is anytime you generate these things, you can always go back and view them here. As long as you don't click start over, this will be saved locally on your computer. And so you can view tool again, and it'll always pop back up. And you're like, hey, maybe it's not right. You can always regenerate it. Let's see. Let's go here to lesson 3 because it generated the graphic organizer for that and kind of see what one of the lessons look like. Using graphic organizers to compare characters in Wonder. And as you can see in the lesson, it's got your overview again, your learning objectives, your materials needed, right? Copies of the character comparison graphic organizers worksheet. It has your preparation steps, print enough copies of the character organization worksheet, your lesson procedures, your discussion questions to help guide this learning in the classroom. Here's the example of what that is. teacher's notes, and assessments that you can use. And with that, you have an entire PBL generated worksheet from top to bottom, the lesson plans, the entries, the curricular targets, everything your administrator is going to look for, and everything that you're going to need to help drive authentic learning in your classroom. And so this is just the first version of this PBL designer, and I'm really excited to get it into more people's hands. So I implore you to, reach out to me, give it a try, start generating units, and when you've got one that's amazing, give us some feedback, tell us how you went, and if you have any feedback about anything else you'd like to see in here, reach out and let us know. But I'm super proud to share this with you. PBL designer. Thank you.